Hello everybody, I wanted to make one more video about the wonderful etude number 3 by Carcassi. Mainly because of one reason. There's one fingering that I use which I like a lot. It is the ending of the second part. But I think like talking about this fingering in particular is teaching us a valuable lesson that it's not only the fingering that is solving a certain problem. We need to understand the philosophy behind a certain idea in order to employ it in the correct way. Because what I am using here instead of the original, I play like this. And then I slide with the third finger, using this as a guide finger. Play like that instead of jumping with the third finger to the F sharp and bring the fourth finger in. This is the original fingering. So I am doing the one that I just presented, using the third finger as a guide finger to bring this to the D sharp and then place the rest of the fingers of the B dominant 7 chord like that. But for that fingering, it is particularly important to understand about the basic direction of your hand, because when you play it like that, and now you might think, okay, at first I will place the third finger because it's my guide finger, and then the barred finger because it's the strongest finger. And we learn, like, if we want to secure a position, it's good to secure these two fingers first. But in this case, what is happening when I play at first, or when I start mentally preparing the index finger and the third finger like that? Everything here is fine. This would work. But now I would need to place my middle finger, like the second finger, on the F sharp, and by changing up the mental order that I'm preparing the position, I run into a problem. Because now I would need to play like this with the middle finger, which is very awkward. Okay, so what happened? I tell you what happened. We suddenly ended up in another frame of the hand. I talk about, I have several live streams where I talk about the frames of the hand, where I talk about this direction and this direction, this direction, and this direction. Which means, like, how is my wrist, how is my elbow towards the fretboard directed and angled. So, and what happened in that way, by sliding with the third finger and with the index finger, like that, I ended up in this frame, okay, which is like that, directly like that, which makes it super hard to bring in the middle finger below the third finger. So, the philosophy behind that is to understand how the left hand and the frames of your hand works. So what I wanted to, what is going to help you is not having the third finger and the index finger leading the position, but the third finger and the middle finger. So what you want to do is this order of actions. So let's do that again. I play this chord, then I play this chord, and instead of having the third finger and the index finger, at first I slide with the third finger and already prepare in the air the middle finger so that I'm in a sharper angle for this position, instead in a position like that. I want to be in this position. And by playing or by practicing this order of actions, it can help us securing this awkward change. Let's do that again. Now play D sharp and F sharp, and then the rest of the chord. So this would be my how I would approach this change, and then finally, by having the actions sorted out, which action needs to come first, we can securely land in this position. And I still think that this position is much more secure than jumping from using the original fingering, which is playing this one with the third finger here, here, and then jumping down with the third finger, because it would, like, we need to stop it right away. We couldn't play this very legato, because we would need to stop it early in order to come into place, and then we would need to jump with a weak finger to this position, which might cause us trouble down the road. Okay, so to recapitulate what I just did, I played this position, and then really focusing on the third and the second finger, because the index finger will fall automatically into place, while the fourth finger, sorry, the fourth finger will fall automatically into place, while the index finger is flexible enough to stretch from every position into every position. We see this when we play chords like that. No, this doesn't work, but the index finger is super stretchable, so we don't have to worry too much about the index finger usually. So what is going to help us, like this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. I hope this helps. It's not about like a particular, like, I'm not saying use this fingering. I want to be a little bit more meta there, like just saying sometimes when we see a fingering and we don't understand it first, there might be more to it than just numbers. There might be like a certain technical approach to it, and this is why when you look at fingerings from great players, sometimes you think, well, that's interesting, but I don't understand it because it's harder. Then sometimes there's a missing link, and those missing links are what characterizes and defines a certain technical approach, and ultimately defines musical personas and like artists, which is awesome. So guys, thanks a lot. Keep on practicing, keep on challenging. We are in the last days. I will probably make the presentation for the workshop on Saturday, but possibly I will include some other videos that will be done on Saturday and Sunday, maybe on Monday as well. So who knows? Keep on practicing, and I will see you guys in the forum.